It's the Vanity Nurse, and it's also March Madness. So we're here to talk about things that make you mad, the OR edition. All right, so I got a lot of feedback from the last video. So this is basically a part two to that. So let's talk about a few things that also grind my gears. All right, number one, I will definitely say crash out or frazzled charge nurse, or just an unhelpful one, is chaos amongst itself. The charge nurse is supposed to basically run the floor. If you're unfamiliar with it, think of the nurses on the unit like servers at a restaurant, and then the charge nurse is kind of like the manager that kind of plans the schedule, organizes, pitches in when there's a need or when someone's not there, is a team player, just has to be organized. If you heard the words, organizes, manages, steps in, these are the things that make a good charge nurse, right? So if someone is always like spazzing and just not organized enough to manage themselves, then of course they are not a good candidate for organizing or running a floor. So I'm typically either in charge or, work with charge nurses. We have at our facility, we switch out. So we have different ones that come in, and sometimes it depends on the day. Baby, you really feel it. It makes a huge difference. I remember before I was charging, I had two charge nurses that I worked with, and I would work 3 days back to back. And the one day that I had different charge nurse, I really felt it. So I hated going in that day because I knew I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. It's just always a rough day. It's scattered, it's confusion. You don't know what you're doing. They don't communicate, or you're hearing things last minute and everyone's scrambling. So it really, really hurts. It's just like I was saying about just disorganization in general. Think about if your manager is disorganized, what that means for you and the team in general. So speaking of team, next one is lazy team members or lazy coworkers. I feel like when I first started, I had no idea why that mattered. So in the OR, I noticed at the beginning that a lot of people would complain like, oh, he's not doing his job and she don't do this and she don't do that. And people would be venting about other coworkers, and I would just be in my head like wondering like, why does that matter? Like, if you're doing your job, like, who cares? So I would just be like, whatever, I'm doing my part. I don't care. But it clicked to me over time why they would be complaining. Because in the OR, things are very interconnected. So even though you're efficient and you're doing a good job and you're getting your cases done, when you're done, there's also other work to be done, helping clean up, putting things away, setting up for the next day. And if you're so efficient and you're getting things done, you get rewarded with more work. But usually what happens is if everybody takes a little piece of that and does it together, then everything's all good. But if you're doing a lot of work and someone's doing a little bit and we're both getting paid the same, that's not fair. Not only is it's not about pay, but it's just about the team aspect of everybody does a little, we all go home, everybody's happy. But some people don't want to partake at all. Like, they'll be on their phones, they'll be chilling in corners, and people know they won't say anything directly to them, but they're talking about them behind their backs. So lazy coworkers is just not a good look. Just don't go into the OR if your lazy work is for you, because in the OR, it's the trenches. You're running, you're going, you're moving equipment, you're out of breath sometimes. I'm talking about you're moving. So if that's not for you, don't come. Don't come, because don't nobody want to deal with you. I'm sorry, it's the truth. I don't. It's just not for you. So yeah, if you're not a team player or you're not ready to pitch in and work hard with everybody, don't come. All right. The last one is I think this actually rolls right into it, because I think if you're lazy, you're not professional. And so for me, unprofessional people are definitely in my next category. So I would say someone who doesn't know how to read a room, someone who says whatever they feel like, says it off their chest or whatever, especially while we're in a room operating with a patient laying there, says anything. People who chime into the conversations that are being had at the field as a circulator nurse or as a nurse. I don't really partake. I let them kind of talk amongst themselves and I kind of stay out of it. Imagine like if you're, an administrator and the kids are on the playground, they're playing and you're just observing. And that's all I do. I just make sure that everyone's safe, that whatever they need, I get them. but I don't partake on those like conversations at the field. I mean, I don't think it's totally inappropriate, but I just think it's better to just be an outsider observing so that you're keeping the patient safe, paying attention to if they need something, paying attention if they say something, versus being involved in a conversation with them, because it's not a social setting. And the patient's there, so, talking about patient's weight or, other things about the patient themselves while they're sleeping is just crazy to me. And the fact that some people think that that's okay is wild. But again, that all rolls into the ball of just not being professional, just not knowing what to do. Because if you did, you wouldn't be lazy. You don't come, when in Rome, do as Romans. You don't come to Rome where everyone's, working hard and sit back like you're a princess. That's just not fair. It's just not the right way to do it. So anyway, well, I hope that is helpful and informative. Let me know, because March Madness is coming to a close. Let me know what things grind your gears in nursing in general or in the OR specifically. Talk to me about that. And yeah, we'll talk about it. Thank you guys so much for the likes, comments. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video and all the other videos. And I'll see you soon.